What's up, everyone? This is Ryan, and this is Ryan and Crystal's Reviews, and this is my second show for the Comic Pull Show. This is number 2, and I got quite a few books this week. You can kind of see here, so we're going to go through these. A lot of Captain America, because I'm trying to finish up my Volume 1 Cap run. I've got less than 100 books to go, so I'm kind of knocking out. A lot of them are higher. It's like I've got kind of that first 100 to say 120. I've got to pick up a lot of them because it's kind of spotty right in there. And then basically after that, I have most of them up until the high 300s. So I've got a little less than 100 books left to go of Cap before I finish that one off. I've got all the keys, the main keys, that is, number 100 and then first Falcon 117 and a few of the other big keys there. I think there's Quasar, or Quasar is in there. And actually I just bought on eBay today First Crossbones, which I got for like $10. I think like 3 or 4 years ago that comic was going for like $80 to $90 in good shape. I got it for $10 today. So there's a lot of hoopla going on right now over Fantastic Four number 94, because that's first Agatha Harkness, and spoiler alert, she shows, it's official, she is in WandaVision. She's Catherine Hahn's character of Agnes. It is Agatha Harkness. She comes out and says that's who she is. So that book this week took a huge jump. And that happens. That happens with the movies and the TV shows. When that character first shows up, that first appearance takes a spike. I remember I had Black Panther number 1. I actually just bought that comic back. I had sold it for something, and then when I bought it originally, it was like a $20 comic, $30 comic, because it's not his first appearance. It's just number 1. It's his first true solo series, because he showed up in Jungle Action in the late, I think like from 5 or 6 on, and that book went from being like a $30 book to a $90 book when the trailer came out. I mean, it's things like that they jump when characters show up. And Crossbones did the same thing. So when Winter Soldier came out, that book skyrocketed and went up to a $75, $100 book on eBay. Not so much in the grading and the comic book grading book, and now I can't think of what that's called. But that's beside the point. But like say on eBay and in comic shops too, they started hiking the price up, and that's just kind of what happens. So I'm gonna go through. I probably got maybe a couple dozen books here. Like I said, most of them are Captain America, and we'll just start off here. I did pick up one. Actually, I picked up two. One I definitely would call a key. The other one was kind of only key because of what's going to happen. So, but this is, so I picked up The Hands of Shang Chi, Master of Kung Fu, number 65. So that's a pretty good book. You can see, I mean, it's an okay shape. It's not amazing shape. It's 1978, so it's, 50 some years old now. So for being that old, it's pretty good. I actually read this book the other night after I picked it up. Shang-Chi was one of those characters I haven't really read a lot of, so I don't really know a whole lot about the character or his villains. So as I kind of pick these up from time to time, I'll read them just to kind of get a sense of the character. Like this is actually my first Shang-Chi that I have. I actually started to pick up, thinking about picking up a few here and there just because of the movie coming out this summer, and it's, the comics are going to go crazy for a while. I mean, I'm just a collector. I love collecting Marvel stuff. So that's, I start on a book, and then I want to get all of them. So I kind of have to calm myself down a little bit and say, okay, now we're going to finish up Captain America. And Avengers will probably be the next one that I kind of hit pretty hard. So you'll see a lot of Avengers happening, and then I always try to pick up a few extra books here and there just to kind of continue to collect the other books. So this one is a key. So this was the one key that I picked up this week. It's not a bad copy. So it's Avengers 196, which is the first full appearance of Taskmaster. So you can see there. I mean, it's pretty good shape. It's a good book. So obviously with Black Widow coming out, Taskmaster's in the movie, and he's going to be the main villain. So this book kind of has gone up a little bit too. But I got it relatively cheap. You know, I buy a lot of my comics. I'm in the Dallas area, so I buy a lot of my comics from Titan Comics over in Dallas, off of it says Webb Chapel. So if you're in the Dallas area and you don't know about Titan, go see Jeremy. He's got so many. He's got everything. I mean, he's got everything you want. He's got good back issues. He's got rows and rows stacked of back issues. He's got, you know, key issues too. Hot toy statues, regular statues, new stuff. He's got trade paperbacks, all of it. It's a really great store. I've been going to him now for maybe about 8 or 9 years. I started kind of getting into collecting pretty hardcore back in like 2012, 2013. And so I've been going to him for a while. So I've gotten quite a bit of issues, back issues from him. A lot of these Captain Americas came from him. I hit him up on Saturday. So, but yeah, so that's 196, first Taskmaster. So that's a good book. You know, it's a solid. I think he cameos in 195. I don't think I have 195. I'll check my app to see if I do. I'm not sure I do, but he's just a cameo. I think it's kind of like a last page cameo. That happens a lot. You know, Wolverine first appearance of Wolverine is actually in 180. Hulk 180. It's a cameo in the last panel. You see Wolverine, and then obviously in 181 is his first full appearance, which that's the book that everybody wants. You know, I'm lucky to have both of them, and maybe I'll pull them out here one day and show them. I'm lucky to have both. So, and then actually Jeremy has Foom Magazine 2 in a very high grade. And what's special about that, I saw it this weekend, what's special about that is that was, they used to allow fans to, or they did a thing with fans to where they could, because it's Friends of Old Marvel, they used to do a thing where you could write in, you could send in your ideas or whatever. And actually Wolverine came from that issue. Some fans wrote in and kind of, it's very, very simple, I guess would be the way to put it, of the character. It doesn't really look what we know, but you know, that's kind of where he first was born. And so that's something interesting. Okay, so next up is, I like the What If series. So I've got a few of these. This is actually probably my favorite What If story. I'll take this. I need to take the sticker off this guy. You know, obviously, you know, the Infinity Gauntlet is a big storyline in Marvel Comics. I mean, in the Infinity Gems, because they call them the gems in the comics, not the stones, but they call them the gems. So that stretched through multiple comics, through multiple years, between, you know, the first Soul Gem shows up in, I believe, Marvel Premiere 1, and then you've got, I think I want to say the Time Gem and shows up. The Time and Power Gem, I think, show up in Marvel Team Up with Warlock and Spider-Man. I don't remember what issue number that is. And then Captain Marvel 41 has the Mind Gem show up in it. And so it, all the way through from Thanos Quest to Infinity Gauntlet to Infinity War to Infinity Crusade, and then the newer stuff, Infinity. I mean, they've gone crazy. You know, that's been kind of the one background thing that, you know, when Jim Starlin started with Thanos and Drax and Iron Man 55 and Moondragon and 54, that's where it kind of started to lay the groundwork. So this is the What If number 49. This is what if the Silver Surfer possessed the Infinity Gauntlet. And this is a really neat story. So obviously, if you're not familiar with the What If comics, they kind of flip stuff on their head and say, well, you know, what if this happened, or what if that happened? So if you know, in the Infinity Gauntlet comic, in that story, Warlock and Silver Surfer are kind of off in the distance as the Avengers, and they are all kind of fighting Thanos. And I mean, he's putting it to him, you know. And so finally, Warlock tells Silver Surfer to go after it. So he goes flying after it. And in the original storyline, he misses, right? He doesn't get the gauntlet. In this storyline, he gets the gauntlet. And then it's about what would happen from that point forward, of him actually possessing the gauntlet. And I'm actually I'll kind of show you that that panel, because it's kind of cool. I read this story years ago, and it's kind of a neat little story. And this is a book I always seem to struggle to find this book for some reason. Let's see here. Yeah, so it's basically right off the bat. You see that's the part where you kind of see there where Thanos is about to take out Cap, and you can see in the next panel here, his first page, Surfer zooms over, and he's got the gauntlet. And then, then you get the splash page of, him with the gauntlet, and then you got the Watcher right there. Because, in the original, Thanos has it, and then Nebula gets it. She kind of reverses everything, and then before she becomes too powerful, they are able to get it off of her, and then Warlock gets it, and then that kind of ends the book. So it's a cool story, and for those of you that don't know, because you might be used to seeing her on the film, see that right there is Nebula. So, and she's Thanos' granddaughter. She's not actually Thanos' daughter. So a lot different than the movies, but that's a cool story. So I picked up a couple What If comics. I was lucky to find this one because I've actually looked for this one for a while. I try to stay off of eBay if I can because they always gouge, but if I have to go there, I will. But I just kind of like, I'll find it. So the next one is What If number 22, and it is what if Dr. Doom had become a hero. And Dr. Doom is my favorite villain of the Marvel Universe, hands down. So this one's kind of neat. It's been a while since I've actually read this story, so I don't want to start talking about it and be really wrong about it. But he fights Mephisto in this one. And Dr. Doom, he's just always been one of my favorite villains. So when I saw that, I was like, I gotta get that too, because I don't have that one. Okay, so the next one is going back a little bit. So this is number 91 of Sergeant Fury and his Howling Commandos. So this is a pretty decent grade book. Obviously this thing's quite old. This is probably, it doesn't say, my guess is probably somewhere around mid-70s. So this is a neat book. I don't really have a lot of Sergeant Fury, so I kind of saw this in pretty decent shape, and it was just a few dollars, so I picked it up. So that's another one I'll probably start collecting. So, all right, so now we're kind of into the Captain America runs, and I'll just kind of run through these fairly quick here. So this is Captain 101. When wakes the sleeper. So obviously you get Red Skull here on the cover. So this is 101. So I've got 100, 101. I'm not sure if I have 102. I'd have to go back and look. This was fairly decent shape book. The spine's in good shape. Not a lot of too much stuff going on here on the cover, which is always good. You get your normal foxing around the edges, stuff like that. But it is in pretty good shape, so I picked that up. And then the next book is Captain 131. And this one is in pretty good shape. You see I paid $30 for this one. I only got this one because it was in really good shape. And I felt that it was, you know, they had it marked as a 7. There's just some slight foxing. The spine is in phenomenal shape. The cover's in phenomenal shape. So I went ahead and picked it up. I mean, it's pretty good there. So that's 131. So actually in that one, if I remember right, Bucky, it says, "No, your eyes are not deceiving you. Don't dare miss Bucky Reborn." It's not actually Bucky. It's a guy that has amnesia that they found at a gym. And he got hypnotized into believing that he's Bucky. And he fights, or he tries to fight Cap. All right, so next up is Captain America 134. You can see there. So it's a pretty decent shaped book for being as old as it is. So this is when it was Captain America and the Falcon. So that was a pretty good, those were, you know, that kind of like, I think it was about a 50 issue run, maybe more. I'm not really sure, where it was Captain America and the Falcon. So this is 140. This is another good book, another pretty good shaped book. In the Grip of the Gargoyle. So Cap and the Falcon. So that's 140. And then we got 141, which I believe kind of continues that story, Captain America and the Falcon. Pretty good shape. It's a good book. I mean, I'm picking these up for, you know, $4, $5, $6. Which is, you know, which is really good. I mean, they're in decent shape. This one's a little, got a little spine roll to it, but it's not that bad. This is 142. Once again, so these are like, I talked about this last week. These are filler. To me, these are filler issues to try to complete runs. So a lot of these issues, if it's got some defects, I'm not looking for a 9 or an 8. You know, I mean, I'm perfectly fine having, and honestly, that goes for just about any comic. I'm not one of those that's like, oh man, I got to have a, you know, Spider-Man 5 in a 9 or an 8. Because I know if I have that, I'm going to pay probably $1,000 for that comic, if not more. And those are just impossible to find. I mean, those comics are 60 years old almost now. You know, they were in the early 60s. And I know that it's going to be next to impossible to find those. And if you do, they're going to be $1,000. So if I could get a mid-grade book in anything, you know, a 5 to 6, and you get a 7, yeah. If I can get 7 and below, I'm perfectly fine with it. Especially on these fillers, because I mean, these books aren't, hey, you know, this isn't something you pull out. It's not a Hulk 181. You're going to pull out and go, hey, look at this. I got Cap 145. You know, you're just not, I mean, to show off to people, you're not going to do that, you know. So people might, hey, here's a box of Captain America, and they went through, oh man, you've got, you know, 120 through 360. You got every book. That's awesome. That's really what it's about. So they're not looking at it and going, pulling out and going, oh my God, you know, unless maybe this was their favorite book growing up, but most people are not going to do that, right? So that is 145, by the way. So, you know, if I've got, say, my my copy of Avengers 4, which is first Silver Age Captain America, I think that's I want to say it was a 4.5 when I bought it. So obviously that's probably still what it is. But that's a book. I mean, that book was, I don't even remember what I paid. I think I almost paid $1,000 for that book. You know, I mean, that's hard to find. It's going to struggle to find those books, especially now. The comics continue to go crazy, and it's harder and harder to find them, especially in good grades. So why am I would much rather have the lower grade book and have the book than try to sit around and wait for an 8 to be available and know I'm going to have to pay, you know, an 8, Avengers 4 and an 8 is probably going to run you $5,000 to $10,000. Unless you can find it and just get lucky. Okay? So we got 146, Captain America 146. So this is Cap 143. So this is the first appearance of William Burnside and the first cameo of Jack Monroe. Once again, I mean, it's not, unless they bring Jack Monroe to the movies, I don't really see that book going and doing a whole lot. So that was 153. Then we're going to jump forward to, this is 236. So kind of 153 is where I start to take over with my longest run in this series. So that's why it jumps. This is 236. The Deadly Designs of Dr. Faustus. And then we got Cap 240, Carnage in Coney Island. That's a good looking book. Again, it's just, you know, you're just thumbing through someone's run and you see, oh look, they've got everything, and it's just kind of that way. This is Cap 276. This is a kind of a cool cover. He's kind of being drowned by all these android looking things. And then we got 282. This is when Jack Monroe becomes Nomad. So you can kind of see there. And then that's the Constrictor. It's got Cap tied up, and then Nomad comes swinging in. Okay, so this one is, I wouldn't really call this a key issue, but this one will probably jump a little bit in value. And the Captain America comics it's rare that you find one that's going to jump. Falcon 117 is going to jump, maybe 100, but after that, there might be one or two in there that will. This one will probably get a bump when the movie, or not movie, but when the show comes out, Falcon and Winter Soldier, because this is the first time that, oh my God, I just blanked on his name. U.S. agent, I just blanked on his name. When he takes over as Captain America. So this is the first issue. And I kind of open it up here. John Walker is his name, if I remember right. I think I just remembered it. So it's got the back for the wedding of Spider-Man and Mary Jane. That's going to annoy the crap out of me, but I'm pretty sure. So you kind of get the first splash page here of Cap and the suit being kind of down. Yeah, it's John Walker is who it is. I'm pretty sure that's, I completely blanked. So he's actually Super Patriot in this issue, and then he becomes Captain America. You know, so it's kind of one of those. I don't know if it's going to do anything. It might not, but if it does, you know, I'm not looking to sell and flip. I'm not one of those people that's like, oh my God, let me go buy this and then flip it. I've seen that happen a lot with Fantastic 494 on eBay this week. Some of the ones that were bought were basically turned around and they even reused the same pictures and flipped right away. And I'm not one to do that. And they're in my collection. They're in my collection unless, you know, emergency happens and I've got to sell and I really need the money to sell. But so that's 333. Like I said, that's when he takes over as Cap, which is going to happen in Falcon and the Winter Soldier. So that was kind of one I kind of saw that and I thought, oh, I'll go ahead and pick that up. I didn't have the book, so I'll go ahead and pick it up. So this is 348. He takes on, it says Cap Smashed. I got a few more here. This is 349. The Life of the New Captain America, the Captain side by side with Battlestar. So I believe this is one of the, if I remember, and let's see, when I get up these high into this, it gets fuzzy with what happens between him and John Walker, because John Walker takes over for a while, and then he doesn't, and then he leaves and goes to the West Coast of Avengers and becomes U.S. agent, and I'm kind of hazy on whether or not this is him or this is Cap, because Cap actually dresses like this at one point too. But I think that's John Walker in that. And then we got 351, Captain America special guest star Nick Fury, ex-Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. That's a nice copy. And the last one for this week, 352, Captain America, good work, man. The Avengers have murdered the Soviet super soldiers. So it's got Iron Man, Vision, Cap, and Thor, and they got these big grins on their faces as the Soviet super soldiers are on the ground dead. So that's 352. Another good book. Good shape book. So that's what I had this week. And I did, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 Captain America books, 1 Howling Commando book, 2 What Ifs, 1 Avengers, 1 Master of Kung Fu, for a total of 24 books this week. So, well, those will go in the collection. They'll be put in and tabbed and all that good things. And really enjoy doing this every Sunday night, and really looking forward to more weeks. Thank you all for watching. Please like and subscribe. Please drop, say something in the comments about, hey, I got this book, or hey, I've been looking for that book, or it's really awesome, or it's a really good shape, or whatever it is. And I'll try to break out from time to time maybe some of my more key books as we go along here. So appreciate it. I hope everyone has a good evening. And back here in 70-degree Texas, Dallas, Texas now, after last week's basically 5-degree weather all week, we're back in the 70s today. So that's Texas weather for you. So appreciate everybody watching. Please like and subscribe, and we will see you on the next video. Thanks.